Good morning and welcome to my little office. I teach online during the day and I'm in between classes, and I wanted to respond to a text that I discovered in the middle of the night from a friend of mine who occasionally will touch bases and ask if I'm feeling anything energetically. Am I getting anything for the collective? Because often when we're going through our stuff, releasing or having strong emotions or feeling disconnected or physical symptoms, our stuff is usually global and we can all relate to it in some way with each other. And so I thought maybe I will answer her text for all of us in the event that it helps. So, a couple of thoughts on this today. This is a very powerful week, by the way. We have a full moon tomorrow and Thursday. And then we have the spring equinox portal. So any time of the year when we have like equinoxes or solstices, those transitions from one season to another are really, really strong energetic portals. And wherever those dates sort of fall into our birth charts from an astrological perspective, sometimes they will set off different energies in our charts. And so some of us will feel those things more keenly than others. So, for example, for me, the winter solstice is my time of the year where I get kind of funky. Spring solstice a little bit, not as much, but it varies for folks. So there is that going on, and we often tend to feel portals a few days before they arrive and a few days after. It's like a window. So definitely know that that's going on as well. All right, so here's her text. She said, okay, I need to ask, is there something big going on planetarily? Is that a word? Laugh out loud, because I'm going on day 6 of being sick. Thankfully, it was only intense for one day. After that, it seemed to be getting better, and now it's just lingering. This is so not usual for me. My family's had it for like 10 days now. It just does not seem to want to go away, and I'm so over it. I hope you're well. I'm on a big old Facebook break, and I feel very out of the loop. All right, so she just touched on several things that have been going on for the past few months this winter, and even taking a Facebook break. So that's when I thought, all right, let me pop in and talk. So this winter, at least around the United States, I know for sure there has been, some kind of virus or flu going around. It manifests either in a respiratory capacity or it will come to us like a stomach flu. I got it a couple of months ago. It did the same thing, and I used the same word. It lingers. So it comes on fast and furious. You got it for a couple of days. You think you're getting better, and then you just stay weak. It just keeps going, and it's so frustrated. I was so frustrated with that. And then what happened for me was on the back of it, I got really severely dehydrated. And so then I spent like 4 or 5 days coming up out of the dehydration. So if you've had this going on for you and your family, my number one tip right now is please stay hydrated. Please drink your fluids. Anything with electrolytes, anything that works for you and your health. Stay hydrated, please, because that is a byproduct of this. It does linger. It takes a while to get over, and you're not alone, Mia, because we had it too. For sure. When we have illnesses in our bodies, they are legitimate from a biological perspective. From an energetic perspective, they are also doing a particular kind of work for us. Usually, when that happens, it could be serving a purpose just to get you in bed. It could be a self-care thing. It's also a time when you are able to kind of check out because you're not feeling well. That's an ideal time for upgrades, energetic upgrades or attunements in our bodies. Those come through spirit during the ascension process right now. We're getting upgrades a lot because our light bodies are increasing in vibration. So when we're sick, sometimes it serves as like a great time for spirit to pop in and give us upgrades because we're sort of down for the count, and sort of out of our usual routines. And for me, I'm a very mental person, so it gets me out of my head and allows that work to occur. So there are things with that going on for all of us, big planetary upgrades, and it does linger. So definitely take care of yourselves. I just have gone through a big bout of allergies. I live in the South. Something got triggered in the air last week. So I walked around feeling like I was being hit in the face. Like I was just, my sinuses, my head. It's just now starting to get better, thankfully. But even that was sort of serving an energetic purpose too. The other thing about the illnesses that have been going around this winter is they have worked to clear our chakras out also, which is key to upgrading. So if you have it and it's showing up in your tummy, if it's like a stomach virus flu thing, it will often clear you out. But it does that because it moves up into the heart chakra. So it's working in your solar plexus, but then it's moving up to your heart chakra, which is key, because it's the bridge from your lower chakras, which are core identity and creative sense of self and who you are and your drive, moves you up into these upper chakras, which is the throat, which is creativity and boundaries and self-care and channeling, your third eye, which is your intuitive center, and your crown, which is your connection to divine source. So when you're going through some kind of chakra clearing like that, it serves to open you up and upgrade you from an intuitive perspective, which is completely in alignment with what's happening right now on the planet. So being sick this winter has done that for a lot of us. So watch and see if your intuition kind of gets stronger. See if you get a little more telepathic with those you love. See kind of how that affects you from a spiritual perspective. So that is what's going on. That's answer number one for my friend Mia. You're not alone, and it lingers. Drink your fluids, ground, take care of yourself. The other thing she mentioned was that she had disconnected from Facebook. And I had gotten a really strong download on that last week when I tried to do my One Mountain Tea Room episode. And it just was so glitchy. And then Facebook shut down globally, and it just got weird. And it's Mercury retrograde, which is in Pisces, which is very dreamy and illusory, confusing, murky. So there's a lot going on to kind of cause confusion and glitches with technology. That does happen as well. And some of us are getting the really strong message to deactivate our accounts or to separate out a little bit from mass consciousness. And if you feel led to do that, then do that, because that is also part of you managing your energies and staying centered and kind of recalibrating right now with whatever is happening for all of us. And I was this close. I did deactivate for a day, and then I got the intuitive message that it was okay to come back on. But do what you feel led to do. Absolutely. Do that if you feel like you need to withdraw and just kind of separate out, because we are so interconnected as a web at this point in global history, for sure. And if you're empathic and the more intuitive you get, you're going to feel that. You're going to feel other people's stuff all over the place. So take care of yourself in that way. I woke up this morning with a visual because I personally, for the past 2 days, have had what I call crippling anxiety. That's another byproduct of growing in your levels of empathy and intuition, is sometimes you will feel anxiety. You don't know what it's connected to. You don't know if it's been triggered by an actual event or life circumstances. You don't know if it's collective. It's hard to discern sometimes. And then you're trying to manage that in your body in a way that feels healthy and peaceful so that you can function in your day-to-day lives. I thought I had slept it off. I woke up this morning within about 20 minutes of brushing my teeth and getting ready. It was back. I've got it right now. Part of it is connected to this equinox portal and full moon that's coming, so I can track it to that. I can connect it to that pretty readily. But the visual that I did get, and occasionally I will get like visions that are metaphorical or symbolic. So I just want to share this with you guys in case it speaks to someone. The visual that I got was ships coming in. If you've seen the old Disney movie Pocahontas, and she goes to see Grandmother Willow because she wants to know what her path is. She's really struggling with that. Her dad wants her to marry this one guy and do this one thing that's very traditional looking. And she feels like there's more to her life, but she doesn't know what it is. It's not in front of her yet. She just knows that she feels it deep inside. And so many of us are in that space right now in our lives where we feel or we sense or we know that some big shift is coming. Some of us have been getting that for a couple of years now. We have pieces of it. We're not sure. We want answers because it is unsettling. I got this visual of her in that movie going to Grandmother Willow and saying, "What is my path? How do I know? How do I know?" And Grandmother Willow said to her, if you saw the movie and remember, she sings to her, "Listen to your heart and you will understand. Tune into yourself. Tune into your heart. Listen to that still small voice. You will get insights and answers. Do that." And she does that. And then she discovers a compass on the ground, and she doesn't know what that is because the little raccoon had already taken it or something like that. I can't remember exactly the order of events, but the arrow's spinning, and she says, spinning arrows, and then it stops, and she says, pointing me down my path. And she stands up and the wind starts to blow in, and as she does, she sees over the tops of the trees the big sails of the English ships coming in to Jamestown for the first time. And she sees them and she doesn't know what they are. She has no reference point for that in her life and her culture. And she says, Grandmother Willow says, "What do you see, child?" And she says, "I see strange clouds. Strange clouds are coming." That's what I saw this morning. So that was my vision. That was my visual. I pass it on to you. See what it means for you. The general gist of it was I got some past life-y stuff. If you're from the Virginia, Jamestown area, it could have something to do with that, if that applies to you. And I also got that our ships are coming in. So for some of us who are getting ready for big shifts, we've been doing the work. We've been making the effort. The universe needs us to do that so the energy can catch up with us and go and manifest those dreams and hopes for us. But our ships are coming in, perhaps in different ways, or bringing us something. It could be bringing us really big events, or it could be bringing us a piece of a puzzle. So just be on the lookout for that this week. It feels like it will go into next week too. But ships are coming in, and it may be very different from anything you've ever seen or known before to date in your life, which is really beautiful and exciting and scary and requires a lot of faith, but I know you can do it. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope this helps in some way. And if you need me, let me know. You can get me at onemountain.net. I do have services listed there if you want to talk. We can set up an appointment. I have an event I'm going to create in just a little bit on Facebook for April the 6th. I'm going to do a little channeling workshop, so be on the lookout for that too. But many blessings and great love, and I hope that this resonates. Take care.